I want to say thank you for coming. I'm forever gracious. Feel free to hijack, use, borrow this platform anytime y'all want it, Natasha.
Okay.
Feel free. My last question is they put Breonna Taylor's name on a no knock and the body cam law. How did you take that? How did the family take that? Or if you can encapsulate both when there's not any charges brought?
We pushed for it.
Okay.
So that's part of the charges are one part, legal changes on the other.
Gotcha.
So, before, again, like I worked for the city as a prosecutor, then I went to the civil side. I advised Metro Council. So while I know our General Assembly for the state don't meet to January, I was like, hey, but we live in Louisville. Let's get this law. Like they meet every 2 weeks. A lawyer who's a friend is the chair of the Public Safety Committee. I said, hey, we want to ban no-knock warrants. Got together with the ACLU. We drafted the ordinance, worked with some experts, some legal experts at Eastern Kentucky University, flushed out this law. First, we had some limited exceptions in there, and like ACLU was like, well, people really want a complete ban. And y'all know I said I was a former prosecutor, so I was trying to, but I wanted to pass, so we might need these limited exceptions in here. But then when it looked like we started like gaining steam on a complete complete ban, I'm like, well, heck, we complete ban too. So it was really a joint effort. Metro Council, they worked quickly to get it passed. I will say that once Metro Council passed it, and it passed unanimously, so across party lines, we got a call saying the mayor wanted to do a ceremonial signing, and at that point he had not terminated any of the officers. And we said, we do not need to go to a ceremonial signing. You will be signing it anyway because it was passed unanimously. So no, we would not be there for a photo op.
Gotcha.
So it's when we're out here, we're doing things that are like, we're focused on things that are really gonna make an impact, not superficial changes, not like, wow, I'm not here for photo ops. We're here to change stuff.
That's right.
And that's what we need to. That's what we tell our elected leaders. Like, oh, you want Breonna's mama where? What what have you done?
Do something then.
Do something.
And that's right. You got to celebrate those small victories though. You can't let them distract you. So it's just like, even when we're preparing a case for trial, that's the war. So when we're gearing up for a trial, we're in the war room and we're getting ready. But when you have a hearing, especially if it's a hearing on something that you thought you were not going to be successful in, then you win, celebrate, turn up. But then it's like, all right, now back to work. So I think that's what these types of accomplishments are. This is a big deal. And then you hear people say it's only for Louisville. Okay, well, like what you did for your city then. So let's let this be the momentum. Let's keep it going. This is a big deal, but we got it's a lot of like goals within the ultimate goal here. It's not just arrest the cops. We want the cops to be convicted, and we want to affect real change so this type of stuff doesn't happen again.
What's the timeline on the city, you think? And what's the timeline did the Attorney General give?
He didn't give himself a timeline, so
he said he analyzed it.
Yeah.
How much time do you think the city has? How much time do you think
on the civil suit?
No. I'm talking just the civilians in the city. Like how much
before they turn up?
Yeah, before we turn up. Yeah.
I don't know.
You might need to slide through and ask them real quick because we probably couldn't know that.
Well,
and when I say they're like all they're doing is they're giving like this young like the millennials, like we like I'm not a millennial, I'm a zennial. For a minute there you was like, what are they? Hey, they're about that protesting life. And they are out there every day, day in, day out. Like what? So like, I got mad respect for, and they're getting more and more creative here, like with the protests. Like after we filed our amended complaint, with the gentrification issues in there, like the mayor, he's so tone deaf. He went and thought he was gonna go do a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new development, and
I saw that.
they came through like, hey, came up through the building, put the sign up like
Beautiful.
arrest Breonna. I was like, hey, that was like, so I'm on social media watching the protests, but y'all like, hey, they set that up, and he just all he could do was stop, and he thought they was gonna be quiet. They didn't. He had to go on to his car, but that was like,
he didn't call the cops immediately and say arrest them, get them out of here, charge them with a felony. Go figure.
Wow. He just left, but they messed up his whole ribbon cutting ceremony.
Wow. Okay, and wreck it all. No justice, no peace. I will say that Kentucky embodies that. Listen, I loved it. I can't wait to come back.
You want to give us your
DB? What's good? It's time to wrap this show up. I
know why. Well, we could DBA call it. So, anyways, you want to give up? You want to give your final? We'll start with Natasha.
Final what? I did this last time.
Well, DB usually wraps it up, but he's not calling in. So I guess.
So we just don't give up on DB?
Yeah.
You don't got no phone. You don't want to try to text them first. I don't want to be like, oh, Natasha coming on the show and then she goes. I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He does a great job at encapsulating the show.
I know, but like maybe text him because you're commenting. He can hear you.
He can hear you. I just saw him in the chat 5 minutes ago, but oh well. I guess his phone died. His phone must have died because.
Who is this in your chat? But who's coming after you, Natasha?
A potty break. Somebody coming for me?
No. What are you talking about?
No, DB is like is he a co-host, right?
No, but I don't know how it happened, but he called in one day a while ago, and he does a great job at making everyone. He does a great job at saying thank you. You know,
he's in here.
I thought he was like a part of it, but he's in the chat talking about.
And he called in the last time, and everyone enjoys him closing the show. Everyone
I thought this was his show too. Sorry.
They said you right.
It is his show.
I'm looking at the comments now. DB's the executive producer. They said he's the host. You the co-host.
Yeah, he is.
Get off the pot.
I always say that we're all co-producing this show, you know. So you know what I mean, but he's not. I guess his phone literally must have died because it's no way in hell he would miss this moment to talk to three beautiful women. So y'all
have to bring me back when I'm not the Breonna Taylor family, because I can say so much more when I don't have that.
I thought you took the head off.
I did take it off.
Well, that's DV.
What's up? An Android.
Oh, my back of my head hurt from laughing. So, oh man, what's up, DV?
Oh man, I'm feeling good, man. And so this is phenomenal, man. The information that we get from these goddesses and queens, this is just amazing. This helps us out a lot when we start hearing about these cases, you know, or when we start seeing them unfold in the news and online. This is great for us, you know, and then we can get out and share the information with our family and friends who didn't get a chance to hear it firsthand. And, you know, we can start getting more active in the community, doing things that'll start helping us to rectify some of these situations, you know. So thank y'all very, very much. And I know, Fred, you're probably going to do this in the once you post the video, but if they can, one more time, just give their Instagrams.
I'm gonna put all of it. I'm gonna put all in the information box below, the description box below. It'll be there. It'll be there for sure.
Perfect. So I know there's one beautiful young lady we'll see again next Wednesday. So that's easy for Sarge. and the other queens, we'll see them again soon. I guess once some more stuff starts to unfold.
Anytime. Natasha, come back anytime.
Yeah,
I cyber stalk your stories. I'll be like, man, what's going? Especially when you went to Louisville, man. I was cyber stalking your stories, man. I was like on them like left and right. I don't want to miss.
She got in trouble by her dad. She didn't tell them she was here.
Oh man, she carries. So she good. She good. She carries. She be walking by that mirror.
I don't like to check a bag, so I didn't bring nothing to Kentucky. I was relying on Lanita to protect me because I ain't had nothing.
Okay.
The grace of God.
What did you say? Like, what did you text when you said you accidentally included him in the text? And he was like, "What? You didn't get arrested? What are you talking about?"
That's
I had to tell my grandparents that I was going because they had to watch my dog. So of course they're like, "Where are you going?"
Mm-hmm.
And she had this whole long lecture, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, y'all be safe, wear your mask, bye." And I left. But I was texting them because they started to see more coverage, and I have young cousins in a group chat, so they were like, "Natasha, are you in Louisville? Like, we're confused." And I was like, "Yeah, but I didn't get arrested." But I responded to the dad's side family chat, and he was like, "Wait, what? Arrested? Like, I'm sorry, what?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm in Louisville. I'm free." So.
Well, we need more stories out of y'all. I mean, at least 20 or 30 stories, because that's like firsthand information. I was on Tamika's Instagram. I was on the young man from New York. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but those my son. I was on his, like, I was consuming all that information. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like,
they have been amazing.
I bet. I can feel it. I can literally feel it, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. DB?
Sorry, DB. We called you out and then we just took over.
I didn't hear. What'd she say?
No, I was saying we called you out and we were like, DB, where you at? Where you at? And then we just took complete over.
Who they saying Hillary from Fresh Prince? Oh Lord. Are they saying you Hillary from Fresh Prince? Natasha? Y'all know I'm in the comments,
y'all. Before I go, someone asked, thank you, JJ, for calling. He says, I'm going to read it verbatim. Can you ask the ladies if they have ever have a harder time defending someone they think or know is guilty? They both seem to have lots of integrity.
That's not our job.
Yeah, so I did criminal defense. So I started out as a public defender, then I switched to the prosecutor side. It's not that you have a hard time defending them, because as a defense attorney, your job is to do what's right by your client. I switched to the other side because I wanted to have more of an impact in giving people resources to make them quit, to stop recidivism, like not coming back into the system. So I prosecuted from an angle of what can I give this person so that I don't see them no more, right? And it just suited, to that point, it suited my personality better than, representing someone that I know may have a drug problem, that if they didn't want to go to drug treatment, I couldn't advocate for drug treatment for them as a defense attorney. That's not my job. It's not to do what's best for them. It's to get the best legal outcome for them, right? So
you on your Robin Hood project. That's called. I won't say it.
People ask all the time, like, how do you go and represent murderers, rapists?
Yeah, we don't do that no more.
Whatever. And my response to them was that, first of all, if I'm representing them, they have not been convicted, so they're not a murderer, they're not a rapist, they're not a burglar. Those are the charges they're accused of. And one thing we do know is that so many people are wrongfully convicted, and a lot of times it's because of inadequate representation from an attorney. So that's not my job. So the way the criminal justice system is set up is that the state, the prosecutor, has a burden of establishing that person is guilty of whatever charge they brought against them beyond a reasonable doubt, right? So I'm there to make sure that person gets a fair trial, that the prosecutors meet their burden. And if there is any room for a reasonable doubt, then at the end of the day, I'd rather for someone who may be guilty go free than someone who is innocent be convicted and sentenced to whatever. Like, that's the injustice.
Johnny Cochran said he never asked if they was guilty or not.
You don't ask, but I do want to know all the facts so I'm prepared. Like, I'm not, because some attorneys be like, I don't want to know. No, I want to know. I want to know where you are. I want to know what you were doing there. I want to know what's going on. I know your entire history leading up to that point. I want to know, but I'm very clear on what my role is there. So everyone has to draw their line. My line was anything dealing with like child pornography, pedophilia. I can't, because there's no way that I'm going to cross-examine a child that is accusing this person of doing something like that. So that was my line. But as far as someone accused of murder, yeah, because how many people are in prison right now that we know didn't commit it or have been released recently because DNA came out or whatever additional evidence, and they've been sitting in prison for 10, 20, 30 years, and they didn't do the crime. So that's the injustice that I protect.
Fair enough. DB?
Man, I love this. Damn, why can't we go for 2 more hours?
They'll be back. They'll be back. Natasha loved the barbershop.
I love y'all. Even though people over there talking ish, yes, I was on the lawn of the AG's yard, and he had just moved in a week before. Yes, I was.
Hey, let me tell you, Natasha was. I'm like, Natasha, we got to get out of here. They coming. They get ready. My role was not to get arrested. It was never in the plan for me to be arrested. I was the person that was supposed to be available to get everybody out. So I'm like, we gotta go. She's like, I want me to go. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna be in my car 5 blocks down. I just wait for you.
So talk about the plan, because that was the first question. I'm sorry, but I'm just getting more intrigued. So when y'all had y'all meeting prior to going to the lawn, you guys had your who's going, because you guys know you're going to get arrested, right? Because you're on private property. Is that
most people didn't know what they were doing? They signed up to do something that to engage in civil disobedience, not peaceful protesting, but civil disobedience, right? Go back to civil rights movement. There was a good chance that you may be arrested. I knew I wasn't getting arrested. That wasn't my role. I knew what the plan was, but a lot of people did not know what the whole plan was. So you meet first, you get trained. Don't if the officers come to you, don't fight, don't argue, don't yell in their face, like just go, right? So they did their training. Then they went to a place closer to where they could get to their final destination.
They were transported there.
Buses.
Yeah, so the entire thing was secret. Like, so the protesters, they knew that I'm going to be involved up to this extent. I might get arrested. I'm willing to get arrested. They didn't want people to kind of like back out, because then you have this list of 200 people.
No, they still gave them opportunity to back out though. Like, hey,
no, I'm saying like once you so like they took the information of the people who were like, nah, like I'm down for it. So then you have a smaller, more concise list of people to keep track of. You don't want to keep track. There's easily 200 people there. You don't want to keep track of all 200 people when you know that only 87 went to. There must have been more than 200 then. I'm not sure.
So over 300 people signed up. There was more than 87 that originally were in the area of the house. But some people at that point decided, I ain't about that life. Right?
Because they said, get off the lawn or you're going to jail. So you got that last opportunity. And then once people were committed, like, no, I'm not moving. Then at first they stood and, joined hands and made a circle. Then they eventually sat down. And they just started arresting, and it happened so quick. It wasn't a typical protest where time, goes by and they try to incite the crowd and, get this going. It wasn't like that. It was pretty much like, because they got that phone call, get them off my lawn, arrest them all. So they moved fast.
But like you said, they had bail money ready. They had attorneys ready. Like, they planned it all the way out. I was the attorney, so I couldn't get arrested. There were some people who were supposed to be posting bail. They could not be. The people with the bail money obviously could not be arrested, right?
Sure.
I was supposed to play that role too, but I'm just a little bit rebellious. And I don't know, it's something that is very, like, if you haven't experienced a protest like firsthand from that side, then like you have to do it, because there's just like a feeling. It's a vibe. And, I don't know. I enjoy them. I enjoy being a part of it. So I get kind of caught up in the moment. And then Lanita was like, well, I'm be in my car. And I'm like, dang. How to keep me out of trouble?
Because you have to think. I wasn't thinking even just from the one. I got my mask up to here. I had my hat on. Because I'm engaged in high stakes litigation against the police department right now. So whether it was they wanted to get me for being out there as a protest, or they had saw me and was like, oh, let's get her.
Sure.
I don't know. I ain't had no threats or nothing like that, thank God. But I don't know.
You have to be cautious. That's
like, so I'm like walking with my head down, like, I don't want them to see me, because all I need is one that's pissed. Like, now again, I was friends with a lot of them when I was a prosecutor. A lot of them ain't my friends so much right now. So,
oh well,
yeah.
Well, we appreciate Eric Jenkins. Thank you for all the great information. Hashtag need all convicted. Arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. Hey,
And I'm gonna name them because you got to get them by name, right? Because they said they living in. Didn't you say that, Natasha? Or somebody?
No,
They get to live under the radar. Is Brett Hankerson, Miles Cosgrove, John Mattingly, and Joshua James is the one that lied on the search warrant.
I refuse to memorize their names. Murderer 1, murderer 2, murderer 3.
Curtis Strickland said, "Keep up."
But they said you ain't like they living in. That's why he was able to be in Florida on the beach because nobody know.
Oh, he was in Florida.
Yeah,
in Destin. He was in like Destin or somewhere. I was busy in Kentucky, but if I would have been,
well, we appreciate y'all coming in. Go ahead and give your final take, man. We'll start with Natasha. Go ahead, Natasha.
Final take is doesn't DB do this? Well, okay, so my final take is that
that's right, Tosh. Tell it.
I was like, listen, DB, I appreciate you. Like I said, I thought you were like a co-host, a part of the show, so I'm definitely not trying to.
Yes.
But I'll still give my 2 cents, and then you come in and give your 5 cents, okay? And we all good. But I just want to encourage everyone to don't think that what's going on is enough, because the system is broken. So don't think that like, oh, well, enough people are speaking up, enough people are doing this. There's enough. It's not enough. Every single person needs to be active. Every single person needs to be speaking out. This is not a time to be silent. So I encourage you to have those very, very uncomfortable conversations with people who you may want to avoid having those uncomfortable conversations with, because like someone said, well, related to what someone said, by us coming here and having these conversations, it allows you to have additional knowledge. Hopefully you gain something from this, so then you can take that knowledge and spread it during those conversations. So that's why sometimes I'm tired when someone asks me a question about this or why they don't support Black Lives Matter. And I'm just like, oh, because I've had that conversation like 5 times this week. But I feel like I have to, because it's not just having that conversation with one person. That person is going to talk to, I always say, like at least 10 people. So by educating or giving your insight to one person, you could literally be affecting 10 or more people just by that one conversation. So it's worth it. So have those uncomfortable conversations. Don't get tired. Like Lanita said, when the hashtags die out, like when it stops being sexy and stops being entertaining, like we still have to care about the platforms that are established by, these tragedies. So I appreciate y'all having me. I love coming by. I'm happy to come anytime that I don't have to be up before like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, because it is 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate the sacrifice. Lanita?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, yes, we want justice for Breonna. Yes, we want the cops arrested. But more than anything, we have to change the laws, and we have to replace elected leaders who are not working for us. That's local all the way up. So really pay attention to your local elections. Stay engaged. And it is. We have to stay engaged if we're going to tear this system down and rebuild it. So thank you all for the support. Continue to support. Continue to call for the officers to be arrested.
And we will.
Yeah. And thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. Please come back too. Yeah. Need to hear you again. DB? Oh, Gregory X. I don't answer questions is my only response to any question from any so-called law enforcement. DB?
Yeah. I think Tasha and I think they both summed up what I was going to say. But, as I keep saying over and over again, and I'll keep on repeating this, and I'll be redundant as possible, local elections are super duper important. Stay engaged with what's happening on a local level. Other than that, it's time for us to get out of here. Play the song!
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Anita. Baker, we genuinely appreciate you, man. Feel free to click the button. You see that button that say exit the studio? We appreciate you. Please come back. We need more information. Every time y'all come in, it's new information. You know what I mean? And it's just incredibly important that we that we hit the refresh button and get re-inspired. You know what I mean? And we don't say, oh, this is just another hashtag. You know, after a month, 2 months, 3 months, we got to stay invigorated. You know, so thank you, please, thank you. Come back.
Thank you for this platform and for speaking out on things like this. And Sergeant Dorsey, I admire you, and I hope that you continue speaking out on this too, because your experiences are like super relevant and super valid right now. So everyone needs to hear about what you've gone through and your direct experiences from your point of view too. So
I know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
From Sergeant Dorsey, like, yeah.
You gotta come in. You gotta come and watch on Wednesdays.
I know.
Yeah.
You gotta move it up like at least an hour so it ain't midnight when we start.
I know. Can't y'all do it?
You know.
He's like, listen, I've been doing this for a long time. Y'all not gonna come in here and try to change.
I have no problem moving it up for you. I have no problem. No problem at all.
Okay, I'm holding you to that. I'm still gonna tell the judge in the morning if my bag's in my eyes. I was doing this show around West Coast time.
Black don't crack. Cut it out.
Bye, have a great night. Stay safe.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, we did it, Sergeant Dorsey.
Yay.
And oh yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot DB was on the phone, man. DB love to say, hey, I figured it out, Sergeant Dorsey. I'm gonna show you what we hang up. I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's my personal statement.
Okay.
Black and Silver, Cash G, Lavelle, DB, Hustler Slim. That's Money. How you doing, Money? What's up, Money? Drew Titan. Appreciate you, Drew, man. Drew covers so many bases, man. What's up, DB? Hustler Slim. OG, what's up? Why not? Rob, your favorite part just played. The Messenger, Bumpy Thompson, G Brown, Box Fans, DB, Tank, what it do? Sir, People Hernandez, all we got is 5 mics. Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. It was a great show tonight, man. We got a lot of information, man, and we appreciate y'all coming out, man. DB, you good? We're going to sing this shit.
Unbelievable.
We're going to sing this shit one more time, man. We come back tomorrow. Turn this shit up one time, man. Let me bust these eardrums real quick. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. Hey, it's all in what you do. Hey, some things you gotta do. Hey. Hey, appreciate you, DB.
Peace out, family.
Appreciate
Much love.
you. Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you guys next week.
Next week. Appreciate y'all.